Hello, so today we'll be covering Newton's laws. The first law is that an object stays in rest or stays in motion until a force is applied. The first part of this law, the object stays in rest until a force is applied, is fairly obvious. If this apple is not moved, let's say, just cross this arrow out for a second, and cross these arrows out, the apple has no force applied on it, it won't move. But the more profound part of this law is the second part. An object will stay in motion until force is applied. This means that if an object is already in motion, it will tend to stay in motion until an opposing force, like these arrows over here, are applied. Like suppose this is you pushing an apple for some reason, then these have to be air resistance and drag for the apple to eventually stop. The second one of Newton's laws is that a force applied on an object, for example, you moving an apple, is equivalent to the apple's mass times the acceleration of the apple. The reason it's not mass times velocity is because of, as previously stated in the first law, it would tend to already stay in motion. Newton's third law is that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This means whatever force you exert on another object, that object will exert that same force back onto you. If that object is not able to reciprocate the force, then it would either deform or break. An example of this is if you punch a wall, your fist will likely hurt. But otherwise, if you punch a pillow or something more soft, that object will either deform or move away if it's not held back by anything. Another example of this, which I will show here, is the Earth and the Sun and their gravitational pulls. I'll just draw these arrows to symbolize the Sun's gravitational force on the Earth. The Sun's gravitational force on the Earth makes the Earth move, but since Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, the Earth technically exerts the same gravitational force on the Sun. The only reason that this is not shown is because the Sun is so heavy that it doesn't really make too much of a difference. So these are the Newton's laws. I hope you learned something from this video.